So let's take a step back a second and just revisit just quickly this concept. Why does this person need to retain me in their guard? What is their whole reason for wanting to maintain a good closed guard?
Hip control.
Hip control?
So you can't stand up and pass the guard?
Okay. Stand up, sit down, pass low, pass high. I think your second part of that is really more important than the first part. Doesn't matter how they pass the guard. The point is you didn't want them to pass the guard. Because when I'm in the guard of a jiu-jitsu player, what's at risk for me? Not specifically, but generally speaking, what's at risk? Yeah, they can finish me. They can break me or they can choke me out. They're in the dominant position. Sometimes when you're in this position, if you're honest with yourself, you might not feel so dominant. You might be feeling like, I'm holding on for dear life. Like, I just don't want him to get out of this. And so you're using it as a stall tactic. But in reality, this is a dominant inverse mount that should be setting this person up for a finish. Or a good sweep, which then in this world creates gravitational advantage for them as well. The point is still the same though. Whether they're here or they sweep me and they get on top, they're still got me in a mount. This is inverted mount, the other is traditional mount. So we explore that because now we need to invert that and say, well then what is my goal? Because today is focusing on this individual in this conflict. What is the goal of the individual who has found themselves in this guard position? What is it?
Get around the leg.
Even higher level than that, higher than the how, is why.
To get that position of dominance in the middle.
Yeah, to get out of the danger zone, right? We just said I'm in the danger zone. I've got to get out of this or I remain on a ticking time bomb to getting submitted. And so it is to my benefit that I begin my escape. Well, escape is cool, but how much cooler if I can turn my escape into a submission? How cool if I can change my escape into a sequence of moves where I change it from being in a position of inferiority to a position of advantage where I have options to finish the fight on my terms. That's what's cool about this next technique. So why do we put our hands here in the center? Whether it's this traditional like one finger in grip on the lapels with my elbow on the leg, or whether it's a hand here, whether it's holding the belt and pushing, what is this all about? What am I trying to do?
Create frames.
Yeah, I'm trying to create a frame exactly to prevent this person from what?
Sitting up.
Yeah, sitting up. And more than just sitting up, what are they going to do with that sit up?
Break you down.
They're going to break me down and hold me down, break my posture, weaken my ability to escape. Now I'm in the striking zone, elbows, headbutts, punches, etc. So when we find ourselves in a person's guard, we need to maintain a good posture. We need to make sure that our chest is up, that we do not cross the invisible plane of the hips. Once we cross this invisible plane of the hips, we're in striking distance and I'm weak in my posture. They can break me down pretty quickly. They can start working on chokes. They can cause a lot of damage. So when you get into this position, I'm really going to be watching for you to maintain good posture, which is chest up, head up. There's no reason for us to look down. Head up, chest up. And if they do grab a lapel, we're going to sink our hips. So we're going to try to touch my tailbone to the ground. That's the way to think about that. I'm pushing my tailbone to the ground. Go ahead and sit up and grab and pull. As long as I have my hips tucked, it's almost impossible because of the curvature of my spine for them to break my posture. Almost impossible. Not impossible, almost. But if I keep doing this, for whatever reason, that reverse curvature of the spine weakens my ability to hold it there. But once I'm here, I'm also going to start my escape. Another mistake that we tend to make when we get ready to step up with a foot is that we tend to we lean forward in order to take the weight off our legs. By leaning forward, we put ourselves in that position to have our posture broken again. So what I want to encourage you to do, it doesn't matter what side you hold the arm, but it's the arm that's being held that indicates what foot you're going to step up with first. And the reason we do that is because now they can't reach around and underhook that same leg and start working some form of X guard or escape or inverted guard or whatever the case may be. The arm I'm holding is the side I'm going to step up with. Instead of rocking forward to stand up, I'd like you to get into the habit of rocking sideways. It's true that it's better to take the weight off the stand-up leg. That's true. Instead of putting all your weight on it and trying to stand up. But instead of rocking forward, let's try rocking sideways. And then step, post, because this post is going to keep him from sitting up. And then instantly come up, hips forward. This is extremely hard for them to keep their ankles locked. Really hard. Even if they've got a really high bite, by the time I turn an angle, which in essence widens the size of my hips compared to their legs, and then shoot my hips forward, almost always disconnects the ankles. Soon as I stand up, my hand goes to the inside of the knee and I push it down. Here's where we're going to change what we do. Remember in the past we've done these stapling, same side knee, underhook, etc. Today we're going to do a cool little Kasagatami baseball slide. I step back to step forward. The opposite side foot is the one that's going to come across. Knee down, foot pin, pummel in for an underhook. I thought that was something broke on you. Now from here, I reach over and I pull his arm up as I step in post. I'm gonna slide through. Here. Connection. This is not just sliding through and letting him rest. It's actually cradling and connecting. Here. Now one of the mistakes we make, and I'm gonna stop. This is a big long drink of water here. There's a lot of steps that we've covered. I'm gonna break it down. The biggest mistake that I see is in people high posturing here. They high posture here. There's no reason to posture here other than to let this guy take the same side leg and put it over my head and start a counter attack where he can break my arm or choke me out. So when I get, sorry, this is such a pain. Gab, is there, how about there?
Yeah, that should be good.
So when I get here like this, I stay low. I want to stay low. And now from here, I can either switch my hips, come in and take side control, or we're going to move to our submission that we're going to add up to here in a minute. There's actually 2, almost 3 submissions. So we should get a sequence of 3 submissions out of this move. So one more time, not as clunky, a little more flow. I go here, control the arm, step up, push down, step back, knee slide, pummel, pull up the arm, slide through, underhook, side control.